Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Ready or Not.
Football edition. I'm Nate the Great.
I'm Chris Stacks, and we're ready to bring you the Week 4 recap and what happened in our league.
Yes, sir.
It was an interesting weekend.
Well, first off, I want to congrats Josh on his first win.
Congrats.
And again, Stacks.
And it's very hard for me to say, but congrats, Josh. I was rooting for you to win next week. And funny,
I was rooting for you to win this week.
When I saw him on Friday, it was
Uh-huh.
my birthday, I was like, so, for my birthday, you gonna let me take this? And he was like, no, I need to win, bro.
Yeah, it's a must-win
He's
game.
like,
at this
no,
point.
I need to win.
And he took it.
But I will say, without going too deep into what happened this week, so we'll get into that in a second, there are certain people that lost, which make me feel less disappointed that I lost, because at least the
rankings
top to the
will
bottom
be
is still closer.
Closer, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But look at this week, I looked at the games, and we got it right here. We looked at the games from what happened, and, yes, the Dolphins losses. You guys see there's not quite as many Dolphins. Oh, it's just him. The Dolphins lost to Cincy.
I still think we would have won if two didn't go down.
Well, that would have been very possible, to be honest with you. Buffalo beat Baltimore, and like you said, what, the bonehead play of the week, more or less?
Oh, the Ravens?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So if you guys missed it, the Ravens were fourth and goal, but they're off like a yard or two, and they decided to throw it instead of one. They could have ran it, but I would have kicked the field goal. It was 2020 at the time, a little under 2.5 minutes left. They tried to throw it in, miss it, actually get an interception.
Yeah.
And then all Bills have to do is score a field goal to win, which they did.
Yeah.
All they had to do before is kick the field goal and stop them, or hope they only get the field goal and go to overtime.
I would definitely say that was the bonehead play of the week, but we're also not coaches in the NFL. But that's just from the side perspective over here. The Cowboys beat the Commanders. I'm going to skip that game for a second. We had the Chargers beat Houston, not a big surprise. Great to see Herbert back looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee Titans beat Indianapolis. Battle of the week.
That was it.
Giants.
Week or week?
Yeah, right. Giants beat the Bears, man. Eagles, and there was one.
Yep.
The only 4-0 team left in the league beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was not the best game for the Jaguars, coming off a great game.
Yeah.
And then looking like, what the hell again?
I know. I was like, no disrespect to the Eagles, but I was hoping they'll lose. I didn't want to have only one undefeated team.
I didn't want to have an undefeated team, and I wanted them to be tied with the Cowboys. So really, I was torn on both sides. The Jets, way to go, Christina. I don't know how, but the Jets pulled it out over Pittsburgh. I do like that.
I did not actually see that one. Oh, yeah.
I do like that new quarterback for Pittsburgh, though. I'm so glad they switched from Trubisky. I don't know how he's still a starting quarterback, or was. Arizona beat up on the Carolina Panthers. Packers, they edged this one out, beat New England.
In overtime.
Going into this game, I knew that New England had a decent defense, but I didn't think this was going to be close.
Right.
I was like 30-10, not 27-24 in overtime. And then you got the Raiders beating up on the Broncos.
Then you got Kansas City.
It was one of the best games for the Broncos, though. So they're going in the right direction. It just might take them way too long to get there.
Right.
But
Kansas City, Tampa Bay, that was a pretty good game.
Well, yeah.
You had Mahomes doing what he does. Brady,
360 jump spin, throw it over his shoulder for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, just literally lobbed it out. I was like, okay. And then Brady looked good, but he still had a couple issues. He still has his receivers are in, but they're still not 100%.
You can tell they're not 100%
yeah.
yet.
Godwin, I think, like a couple times went down, almost went out of the game. It looked like it. But 41-31 there.
Mike Evans, though, balled out.
Mike Evans did, as Mike Evans does.
Yes. And then, what the hell?
San Francisco against LA, man.
I thought this was
killing me here.
If you told me that the game score was 24-9, I would have said absolutely. Rams beat the Niners.
Oh yeah, no question about that in my mind.
Not a terrible stat line for Stafford. You see that he's not on with all of his receivers. The only one he's really on with right now is Cup, which you can only throw to Cup 15 times a game. After that, it's a little too much. Mm-hmm. And the Niners, Garoppolo still didn't play great, but their coach is great.
Yep.
Simple. And we'll go back up here real quick, because this one I wanted to highlight. Of all games of the week, I was not expecting this to be like the one that stood out. That was a great game to watch. That was fun. Mm-hmm. And had some of the stat leaders of the week. And Will, you're going to be excited about this one. The number one stat getter, the number one guy for the whole week, was a tight end.
TJ Hawkinson.
And
you don't have him, but
yeah, you
he's
don't
a
have
tight
him,
end.
but he's a tight end. And he was playing for Prue, right?
Prue, I believe.
Prue, yep. So Seattle 48, Detroit 45. The battle of the amazing quarterbacks, Geno Smith
and Jared Goff.
and Jared Goff.
Two names you would not have thought to be in this conversation.
Beginning of the season, when I saw Geno was starting, I was like, all right, they're trying to not look terrible.
And they're actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually looking good.
They're 2-2 now. I mean, not a great record.
Geno's a
But,
top 10. I think he's number 6 quarterback right now on the season.
well, I mean, you said Kristen's the Jets fan? Christina's a Jets fan. You guys lost him a good Geno Smith. Or like, just had to hold on like 10 more years.
10 more years. Keep waiting. 23 for 30, 320 and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown on 49 yards, 31.7 points.
Yeah.
Not a bad week. Then you had Rashad Penny. I think he actually might be on my team. 17 for 151 and 2 touchdowns. Do I have him on the bench? I just picked him up, I think. One of my backups.
You can keep going while I check this.
And then you had on the other side, Jared Goff, 26 for 39.
No, you don't have any.
I did not get rid of him. 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 TD or 1 INT, and 1 2-point conversion. And then I keep forgetting this guy's first name, something Reynolds, 7 for 8 with 81 and 1 touchdown, because all of Detroit's wide receivers are down right now. You had Hawkinson and then a third wide receiver.
Well, that explains why Hawkinson
Swift
got
is
some
out.
points. Yeah, I know Swift is out. Well, I had, but backup did great.
Yeah, Jamal Williams.
Blanking on the name. Yeah, Jamal Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, I had 2 J Williams on my team. Confused the hell out of me.
So should we go into the legends and the weakest of the week, or should we go into the league?
Let's go Legends of the Week. Let's keep them sweating a little bit.
Legends of the week, all right. So we just talked about TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah.
Holy heck. If you ask me who was going to be the leader this week, and if you look at it, it was TJ Hawkinson for tight ends, then Mo Alley Cox, then Travis Kelce.
Yeah?
Most people don't even know who Mo Alley Cox is.
I had no idea who that was, actually. I'm not going to lie. I was like,
Mo Alley Cox is, he's like 6'6" on the Indianapolis Colts. Massive guy. He, like, the name fits him. He looks like the Munster guy. Herman Munster. That's what he looks like standing next to normal people. It's crazy.
Fair enough.
But then you had TJ Hawkinson, you had Jared Goff, number 2, you had Josh Jacobs, and unfortunately, who did you tell me that?
Steiger had Josh Jacobs on his bench.
Thank you, Josh, because then you would have really pounded me.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Jacobs on the bench. Geno Smith is number 4 for the week. Austin Eckler, number 5. Rashad Penny, number 6. And Russell Wilson broke the top 10, not for quarterbacks, top 10 for everyone scoring this
Where
week.
Russell Wilson's finally putting in the numbers.
Going in the right way.
Maybe he will get the player of the year.
And then weakest of the week.
Weeks of the week, we got Tua for the QBs. Went down, unfortunately. Hopefully, we wish him the best. We have Trevor Lawrence. We got Marcus Mariota, who you played, and Stafford, who I played. Then for running backs, we got Zeke. Your Cowboys over here. Oh, Cowboys football right there.
Hey, they won. Remember that. They won.
Hey, but Zeke didn't hold that ball very often.
I know.
Or for very long, at least. I can't read this.
Oh, that was James Conner, number 2.
Conner.
Dalvin Cook, number 3. And
Cordero
Cordero Patterson,
Patterson,
which
yeah.
we're going to bring him up again in a second.
Yeah.
And then for wide receivers,
Godwin.
you mentioned him already.
I mentioned Godwin. He looked like he was going to go down every time he got the ball.
Yeah, literally.
Thielen, A.J. Brown, and Judy.
Yeah, so those are some of the top 15 or top 24, depending on if we're talking about running backs or wide receivers, that did not do well this week. That projected high but didn't have the numbers. But then we had a lot of injuries this week.
Oh yeah, injuries. We have Javonte Williams on my team.
He's on IR, so he's done
IR,
for the season.
so he's done for the season. So if anyone wants to trade for him, I'm open to it. Then we got Tua, who's at least out for 1 week. Still unsure on the extent of his injuries. We'll see that. Brian Hoyer, Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson.
Yep. Potential
Then,
shoulder issue.
Jonathan Taylor and Cordero Patterson, which we just mentioned.
Yeah, so we could see JTT out this week, unfortunately, which would be a big deal for that team. And Jonathan Taylor, is that Christina or Steiger? Steiger's got Jonathan Taylor. Remember, he was excited because he got to keep him in the 10th.
Correct. Yeah, that was a keeper.
But yeah, that was kind of a big deal, especially with that. That's a lot of players going out in 1 week. We found out a week where
that's besides the players that are still out.
Yeah, true, very true.
Like Swift and I don't know who else is still out. It's gonna be out for a bit, but
very true, very true. But then if you look at what happened this week in the league, You can start.
Oh, well, first game we have Stacks versus Steiger. Steiger pulling the win, 157.72 to 113.38. Then the next one we have Belichick yourself beating out my brother, 151.52 to 144.32. It's a pretty close game.
Thank you, Justine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Giving my brother his first loss of the year.
First loss, time to switch up tight ends. You don't have enough tight ends on the team, add a tight end.
See if you can get Hawkinson in there.
So now Team Tebow, Mike Tebow, 178.64 over Nate the Great with 131.42. And then, just squeezing this one out. Najee's in Paris, 163.02, beating out Christina Champ, 160.34.
Wasn't Christina part of that very close game last week too?
Yep. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I saw her on social media a couple weeks ago, absolutely running her mouth about the fact that she's in 5 leagues, I think, and I'm pretty sure she won all 5 leagues that week, and now she's 2-2.
Damn.
So,
All right.
so when you're looking at what's going on in the league as far as positions,
So does Champ just signify the amount of games she's won this year?
that does.
Okay.
That must be what it meant.
Got it.
Good job, Nate. But you got Steiger at the bottom. 1-3 though, on the way up. You got the up arrow Steiger, that's good. Nate the Great over here with 1-3 as well. Unfortunately, 2 losses in a row. Myself in 6th, Diggs in the CD with 1 loss, 2-2. And unfortunately, my team's kind of like the slot machines right now. It's up and down. It's one or the other. Belichick yourself at 2-2 with 1 win.
You got Team Tebow number 4 with 2-2. Champ number 3, 2-2.
Which Champ 2 wins? That makes sense.
Yes. Which side note, I am 1-3, so I can't talk too much crap, but I will still do it. Number 2, we got Najee's in Paris, 3-1, and my brother's still number 1 for now. Team 3 tight ends.
So
3-1.
Champ means 2-2. Does 3 tight ends mean he's going to stop at 3 wins because he's only got 3 tight ends?
So what number? What does great signify? Should I have all wins next rest of the year? And then Diggs in the CD. I don't know. We'll have to do some research on this later.
We will. We will have to do some research. We'll come up with this for you guys for when's the next Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday's the next round. So we are doing it a touch different this week, guys. So we're going over the week recap. We're going over what happened in the league, the performers today, and then on Thursday
we're going to do what's going to happen the week coming up.
Yep.
So any changes, any waiver wire pickups, who the lineups are coming up once everyone has everything set.
Yep. So looking at the week, Team Tebow, best team of the week, 178.64. Great job, Mike. Way to rally back
Against me.
against Nate.
Then we got worst team, Diggs in the CD, Stacks over here with 113.38.
You didn't bring him up, actually, surprisingly. Kamara killed me this week.
Oh, I have it written down. We didn't bring it up because we got the London game, who no one really remembered about. I didn't. And then Kamara gets called out like at 10 o'clock in the morning before the game starts. So I know a lot of people that had Kamara in that had no idea he was going to go out because he wasn't questionable the night before.
I checked it when I went to bed and he was started.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm good. And then I woke up at like 11 o'clock and I checked my lineup and it says out, or I had an alert on my phone. Alvin Kamara out. I was like, huh? I just went to bed.
So I couldn't tell you how many people missed out on those points and just had a big 0.
Yeah, that did not help.
Not that you would have won anyway, but
Hey, if I had two
you
players,
still would have been
players
the
that would have
worst
scored 15, so it would have been at least 100, almost 30. That looks a lot more respectable than 130.
I mean, that's fair, but you still would have been the worst team.
Yes, but it would have been a lot more respectable. But top quarterback of the week, Steiger with Goff. Great job, buddy. 34.22.
We got Eckler, running back from on Tebow's team, of course.
Evans on Christina, 27.3. Like I said, Evans balled out. If he and Brady can keep that connection going and keep growing on it, he can be dangerous coming into the season.
Then we got Hawkinson, we talked about tight end for Peru.
36.9.
Yep.
Jeez. Dan Carlson from Will, the damn kicker.
And then these defenses, man, 22 points with my brother's team, which I was talking to him earlier today because,
How did he lose?
Well, when we were talking last night, because he still had Cup again, he was still against Cup, and he was like, if my defense outscores Cup, I have a chance of winning. But he needed to significantly outscore Cup, and he didn't do that.
Yeah, but he had 35 points from defense and kicker.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize the kicker was his as well. Yeah, 35 points.
And then bench warmers of the week, Tebow with Zach Wilson. I'm not blaming you at all. Usually I'd give you crap right now, but you put Zach Wilson on the bench. I'm not.
I'm sure that was a pickup to see what would happen, which is
Yeah.
understandable. Then you got Josh Jacobs, which I mentioned earlier on Steiger's bench.
Thank you, Josh. Like I said, and again, I want to take shots at you guys, but not playing Jacobs after how bad he's been. I understand.
No, and then I mean, looking at who he did play, they just didn't play this week.
Yeah.
You know, it was just unfortunate.
Alan Lazard with Christina. Lazard might be somebody when he's healthy. I'm gonna squeeze in my lineup because he's showing himself as Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. Like that's the person he wants to throw the ball to.
Then you got Everett over here, the tight ends, also Christina's team. I'm not sure who she played, but Everett's. I mean, tight ends are always rough depending on who we're going for.
I think Everett was actually number 4 on the week.
Yeah.
So
So number
unless
4
she-
for tight ends, I assume.
Right.
not for
So
Everett.
unless she played Hawkinson, Mo Alley, or Travis Kelce, he beat.
Well, yes,
Anderson.
but
I'm just saying.
yeah.
And Everett's been doing well. He's
Yeah.
been one of Stafford's favorite people right now. So he's been doing well. And then the last two don't even make sense.
Yeah, we don't have. No one had backup kickers or defenses.
Smart. Most efficient, Nat Rod, 131.42. Max points, 133.96.
I would have got my max points if Stafford didn't fumble the ball at the end of the game. Which I was saying to you last night. I was like, I might actually get most efficient manager because of how crappy my bench is.
True.
Because I threw 2 or 3 players out, and then the rest of them just didn't do anything. Then you have least efficient manager, Stacks over here.
I don't like having that one.
113 when he could have had 138 if he played.
Pretty much what I told you.
But you didn't. You're not as efficient as I am. Go
I
ahead.
see that. Highest points in a loss, Christina. That is rough, 160, losing to 163.
No,
So
did she win the close game last week, or did she lose last week as
I
well?
thought she lost last week as well.
So both games were just squeezed by.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Then lowest points in a win, we got
Justine.
Justine against my brother, 151 to 144. So still a pretty close game,
Yeah.
but
Just about 7.2 points. It's pretty
Yeah.
close. Biggest blowout. Tebow. Oh, that's you. Tebow
That's-
versus
that's
Nat
me.
Rod. Got it. 178.6, 4 over 131. And I did see. I don't know if you saw it. I saw him on Twitter talking, clowning you a little bit. The fact that
Yeah,
he beat
you
you
tagged
so
me.
bad. Oh, I did tag you.
I was like, what is this tag? And I'm like, oh, crowd, of course. Then we got narrow victory, Prue versus Christina. We just mentioned that.
Overachiever of the week. This one's fitting though. Tebow.
Yeah.
Overachiever with 178 projected 140. That's a 38-point swing. It's a pretty good swing.
Yeah.
Pretty good
We'll
swing.
get to him. Underachiever, Stacks again. 113 when he was projected 128.
So only 15 points, and that's Alvin Kamara's projected.
Hey, well, you should have woken up earlier.
I see that now. Every time we got a London game, I'm setting a damn alarm. Dean Tebow, 88.7. But the one I wanted to point out, and it hurts me to do this. There's 2 actually. Najee did 96.3% of his projected.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nate the Great had 98.1% of his max score.
Max potential,
Nice
which
job,
wasn't
buddy.
very
Nice
high.
job. The other one that I wanted to point out though was, unfortunately, me. 81.8% of my max,
That is
but
low,
I
isn't it?
still
That is
would have
low.
beat you.
Would have, but you didn't. I would
If I
have
was
won.
playing you, I would have beat you. We should look at next
Only
year.
if you hit your max.
Right.
If you would have played me, I still would have won.
True. Next year, guys, we should look at where whoever, since we got 8 people right now, unless we add 2 more, the top 4 get an extra win if they beat the median score, and then and everyone below that doesn't. So let's say that was it Belichick himself? That was the highest score in a loss, the lowest points in a win.
No, Christina.
Highest points in a loss, Christina. So Christina, example, she had the highest points and she would have beat a lot of people this week. So she would have gotten an extra win towards her goal. So for the season, you don't end up having 17 total games or 16 total games. Instead, you have 32. So even if you do really well, but you lose, you still get 1 win for the week as long as you're over the median score.
So do you get 2 wins if you win and
Yes.
have over the median score?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, was it Najee who had the highest? You were most efficient. The highest points.
I think the
Biggest
most
one, Tebow.
efficient should also get.
Tebow being the highest scoring would have gotten 2 wins.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. that is the majority of what we had. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up this week? Anybody else you wanted to take shots at?
No, let's keep this going.
All right, guys. Right now, just a quick recap. We got 3 tight ends in first, Najee's in Paris in second, Champ in third, and Tebow, the last one to be qualified for playoffs
if it were to start
today. So Belichick yourself, myself, Nate, Steiger. We got some work to do. Obviously, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are tied, separated by points from third to seventh. We're only separated by 70 points. That's literally one bad week. The way it's been. But this should be a decent week of football. I saw some good matchups. We will be back on Thursday to go over what's coming up next. Any the best waiver wire pickups.
Yep. Which I'm getting everybody because I have probably the top waiver wire spot.
Yes, you probably do actually. But guys, Chris Stacks,
Nate the Great,
and we are excited to be here with you. And we will see you Thursday.
On Thursday.